So, showtime da! Hey guys, KRX here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Henshin Belt Deluxe WizarDriver from Kamen Rider Wizard. This is the belt that Kamen Rider Wizard uses to transform and use various kinds of magic via wizard rings. So this set includes several things: the WizarDriver itself, belt parts, and 3 wizard rings: the Flame Wizard Ring, Water Wizard Ring, and Kick Strike Wizard Ring. So to start off, we'll look at the belt itself. So right here, molded in silver and gunmetal gray plastic. It has heavy applications of silver paint as well as chrome gold and chrome silver. Give it a nice shiny reflective look. Throughout the belt is this studded jewelry-like pattern. It also has a nice shiny silver bezel around this main part, a large hand called the hand author. We have the speaker up here with a nice pattern cut into it, and these 2 levers on the side, which are actually for how the toy functions. Going right to the back, we have this nice design here, which has a dragon encircling it. And the belt straps work how belt straps for Kamen Rider belts work nowadays, with clips at both sides and still using the same system of pegs and a back buckle. And so we have this dragon design here, and actually fully circles around with the dragon's head here. Have the wings, the arms, the tail, and the fire breathing, and the fire breath coming out like this. The belt parts themselves aren't too special. They have the clips here in silver with the rest in gray, and you have a gem kind of gem design on the back stopper. Moving on to the rings. Wizard rings are divided into 2 types: transformation rings for the left hand and magic rings for the right hand. The first of these rings is the flame ring. This is used by Wizard to transform into his default form, flame style. So transformation rings are designed after a certain gemstone with a certain shape. So for flame, it's a round ruby. So you've got this nice translucent red plastic up here with a lot of different cuts to it, so as to have some nice detail. And the thing about transformation rings is that they are 2 parts. This top half, which is a translucent plastic, and the bottom half, which is a gray plastic. But since they're both painted in this silver paint, they match up. Each transformation ring also has a visor like this that can be flipped down, and when done so, it resembles Kamen Rider Wizard's face. And so it also has this nice and clever design of using these fasteners as if they were the outline of eyes, as well as this other fastener up here, which has a gold forehead gem. Also note are the ring parts. Now this is not the default ring part. Rather this is, and yes, as you just saw, they can be switched out, which is actually a good thing. The default size is 15mm, which is obviously because these are designed for little kids. And then there are 2 other sizes that you can buy. L size, which is 17mm, and this LL size, which is 20mm, and just snap on and snap off like so. And the reason why it's important to have these swappable parts is because a lot of times the size of one's fingers is actually determined by the size of the bone. So if your bone size. So if the size of the bones in your fingers is, well, bigger than the circumference of the ring part, then it's seriously just impossible for that ring part to fit on your finger. And obviously they want the rings to fit so as not to cut off circulation. This is good because it means that Bandai acknowledges how not just kids collect stuff like Kamen Rider toys. Next up is the water ring, which allows him to change into water style. This one is a diamond-shaped sapphire. Once again, with a lot of nice cuts to it, give it nice detail. Once again, the visor flips down, and the shape of the visor doesn't change for the rings. At least not for now. As you can see, the visor is the same, but the two manage to look quite distinct. Next we have the single magic ring here, which is the kick strike ring. This allows him to activate his rider kick finisher attack. All magic rings have this base shape of a kind of a round ring with these studs all around the side, and most of them also have an orange gemstone, as well as a motif of using a dragon in its pattern, because Kamen Wizard gets his magic power from a dragon that resides inside him. So in this case, you have a foot surrounded by a dragon-shaped aura. So we can put on the two rings on their respective fingers, and coming over here and switching it on like so. Get Dragon's Roar for the startup sound, and that lights up the Grimoire stone in the center. A Grimoire being a kind of magical spell book. So to start up, you have to switch between one of the modes. So it starts out here in magic mode, and so we'll switch it over to transformation mode. So it flashes different colors. To activate it, actually just going to reposition this so as to get straight, because as you can see, the belt sometimes tilts from side to side. Having this like so helps it to straighten out. At least somewhat. So, switching transformation mode, you activate a sound by placing a ring near the center of the belt and then removing it, like so. So as you can see, when I put the ring near the belt, it lights up. And then when I remove it, the belt turns a color that matches that of the ring. Now once more. And with each of the transformation rings, it has a specific chant, usually repeating a single word. So for Flame Sailor, it repeats He, which is the Japanese word for fire. So then we can switch it to magic mode, like so, and activate the kick strike ring. Now that was actually a special way of activating the kick strike ring, but there's also a standard way to activate it. You can see, without a transformation, it just does a generic sound, but by activating a transformation, like flame style, it has a special sound to it. So before the sound, it says "shoine," which means super nice, and then afterwards it says "saiko," meaning the best. And before it does the kick sound effect, it has a red light and a fire sound effect. So next we can switch and use the water ring, like so. So in that case, the light is blue, and it repeats "sui," one of the Japanese words for water. Then switching over to magic mode again. Another thing to note is that you don't actually have to put it to the front of the belt to get to work. You can actually put the ring behind the belt and it'll work. And so also, as you can see, when the ring is put up to it, it remains a white color and only changes colors when you remove the ring. Also to note is that it isn't an instant thing. The removal of the ring is actually important. As you can see, as long as I keep it near, the sound will repeat. And it actually is site specific. If I try to use a transformation ring in magic mode, I'll get this sound. Same thing if I do it the other way. And so it's literally just saying wrong side. So you get quite a bit out of this. The one thing to take note of about the chrome paint of the belt is that while a lot of the chrome, specifically the chrome on these parts and on the gold surrounding the hand other here, is pretty sturdy, you want to take care with the chrome that's on here and on here, as basically this chrome is not quite as strong. And so if you have sweaty hands, it's possible to rub off some of that chrome, or it's also a little bit easier to scratch off. So you want to really take care of the belt if you want to keep the nice chrome on it. Especially because it is definitely not a simple thing to replace chrome. That's just something to keep in mind. But overall, this is a very nice toy. One of the things that I can really hand to this is that it's very easy to use. all you have to do is switch between modes, place a ring near the belt, and then remove it. No use of buttons or switches at all. So that's actually quite beneficial because you can just play with it quite easily, and really it doesn't mean that there's going to be much to forget. It's just that simple, and simplicity is a really good thing. It means that basically, as long as you know which ring goes to which side, you don't even have to even read the instructions to know how to work this thing. It is quite clever how it's designed to switch. How it's designed to switch from a left hand to a right hand, just using this part up here as a thumb, and these parts as a little bit of the arm. It's a simple kinetic change, and the functionality works quite well because it's proximity based. And of course, this is obviously the place to start, since this actually gives you what activates these rings. And it actually is also quite nice how they individually light up. So you get a light at all stages: during the standby, when activating a ring, and then when removing it from the belt and letting the belt become activated. And there are already a lot of rings out, with a lot more to come. Although there are certain rings that are certainly what I would call essential, while there are others that are not quite essential, and along the way I will point out which ones I think are essential and which ones aren't. But yeah, obviously if you're going to be getting into this line, it revolves all around the wizard rings, so you're going to want to start with this. And for what you get, it's definitely a good starting point, and the more rings you get, the more fun you're going to get out of this belt. So, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and check out my channel for more videos. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.